Hello, my name is Joe, and I broke my LCD screen. I stepped on it, I crunched it, I was a little sad, and I did some research online, and I found out that I got a really good price, reasonable, from laptopscreen.com, and I found out it's pretty easy to replace on this particular model on a Toshiba A665-S5173. You can find this model number on the bottom of your laptop. This is what you would type into their search engine at laptopscreen.com, and they will come up probably with this model number right here. This is the actual LCD panel that was in my computer, an LP156WH2 TLAA. It's an LG brand, and sometimes there'll be a different brand under there. It doesn't really matter. I already took my screen out, already took it apart, and this is primarily a video about putting it back together, but I will real briefly show you what it took to take apart. First of all, there's 4 screws, one in each corner here, and you usually can't see it because you can't see the screw heads because there's a little black dot of plastic. It's like a piece of tape, and you need to take either a pin or a razor blade or a sharp corner and dig them out. So you dig out each one of these little corners, and I like to have something like this to stick them in, or stick them back on here. Don't want to lose stuff. And once you get there, you'll see the screws behind it. You got to take this one out, take this screw out, take this screw out, take this screw out, and now this bevel right here, it feels like it's fixed on, and you can basically take your fingers. It's just a matter of working your way around it. It comes off pretty easy. And it starts to come off. Take a minute to do it, or a minute and a half even. Just take it easy. You don't want to break it, but it'll come free. And the part that stuck for me was on this hinge down here. Everything came off but this one, and I just took a flat screwdriver and kind of worked it, pried it apart right here, and it finally came off. I could tell if I was impatient, I could crack this thing off. Just be patient, it'll be fine. So this comes off. Next thing you know, you've got your LCD panel right here, and this is your webcam, and this is plugged in here, and you need to pull this off real carefully. Just pull straight out. There's no latch or anything. And once that's done, now there's 3 screws on either side right here. There's 1, 2, 3. And what we have here is that this is stuck to here. It's like a piece of tape, and you need to carefully pull the tape up, and there's a connector here. And the important part about this connector is that we pull it off in the right direction. There's tape back here. Everything's taped down, so you kind of got to loosen up all your tape on it and free it. And then this connector here just pulls straight back. Take your time, take it easy on it. You don't want to tear this video cable right here, and that's it. That's the only thing that's holding this on. And there's all these numbers all over. I didn't know which number it is that I needed, and I put them all into all these different numbers into different into the search engine on the website. And what I found out was, let's see if I can get this in here, is that it was this number, the LP156WH2 TLAA. That is the part number that I needed. It's a LG model. They might send you a different brand. Actually, I got a Samsung, and let's grab it here, and it doesn't matter. It's all the same. As long as they're on their end, they're the smart guys. I give them my laptop number. I give them best. It's good to give your part number for your LCD screen, and they will send you something that's compatible. When you get your panel, the new one, I checked and make sure that it's the same size, that the connector's the same, that the screws are going to line up. As you can see, this one does, so it's the right replacement. First of all, I didn't mention it earlier, unplug your laptop, take your battery out. You might even want to push your button a few times to let the electricity out. It's always good to take all the electrical sources out of a laptop before, or even a box, a computer, any computer before you work on it. Definitely inspected this thing when I first got it, make sure there's no problems with the shipping. It looks like everything's good to go. Plugged this video cable in, and I just held it flat and shoved it forward, and it went in fine. And I'm looking at it really close. I want to make sure that it's all the way on, because I certainly don't want it to come off later. I don't think this is necessary, but since it was stuck down with adhesive underneath, and there's no real latch on this, my biggest concern is when I put it together that something gets pulled. So I'm going to tape this down. This is just a little extra. So there's like a nice little ledge right here that this needs to place on. You can tell it fits right. It's sitting right inside the brackets. Be real delicate with this cable. This might need my tools, tweezers. Okay, I took a little break there. Not as young as I used to be. I need to get some glasses so I can see up here closer. I tell you, some of us are much more adept at these little things. Much better. I can see now. Depending on how much we work with these sort of things, some of us just get it right away and put it right in. Some of us are a little more all thumbs. I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. But this one's, there we go. But that's the thing, working with these computers, little parts, and it's not like whether I can do it or not. If you can do a little bit of homeowner stuff around the house, you can do this too. You just got to take your time, you know, and sometimes use the right tool. And taking your time is the way to do it. And now we're ready to put these screws back in. Lean this back so that it's not going to fall forward. I like a magnetic tip screwdriver so I can get this loaded. And get the screws going. I'm having a little trouble getting this screw in, the bottom one. This one was a little hard, this was even harder. It's possible that the right way to do this, or maybe not the right way, but if necessary, pull these hinges off completely away from this background. It makes a lot of sense because this one's a crowded screw. Now I should be able to, there we go, move this away so that hole is clear. Yeah, much easier first try. But you never know how far you got to tear something down. The other side was fine, so I didn't have to take off these screws. But in this case, it seems like it's the quicker way to go. Okay, now that I got it all together, before I put the final touch on, I'm just going to plug it in and see if it works. I definitely want to take a real close look, make sure this camera is plugged in, make sure there's no wires pinched. Go. Looks good to me. Let's finish this. You know, putting these pieces back together is a lot of feel. You don't want to push so hard that you break it. That's why it's good to know how it's supposed to go together. And I got these little plastic stickers. And if you're getting a little frustrated, little tiny screws, just breathe. You'll be happy when it's done. Easy. Thanks for watching. Good luck.